You know, nowadays it's hard to find long-lasting enjoyment for less than I spend monthly on oat milk lattes, but here we are with a new electronic drum kit. This is the Fesley FED1000. Ridiculous price on this. I've actually low-key done a lot of drum kit reviews, and you know, people seem to really like them. So they sent me this over, and I kind of want to go through its paces. There is a special sale going on Black Friday, which is a crazy number. Definitely the least expensive I've seen one of these kits go for. I don't want to say it right now in case the sale price changes, but I'll have an affiliate link in the description. So we're just going to go through what this is, why I think this is good, especially for like a budget thing if you're just beginning out, playing drums, why it could be like a really cool supplement to other instruments, because I started out as a guitar player and I really made a noticeable jump in my skills once I actually picked up playing drums, just because rhythm translates to any instrument, right? So let's go through what we got here real quick. I'm just gonna go through a couple of the preset kits for a second, then I'll get more in depth in the kit and then talk more about the features. But anyways, this is just the first preset. Okay, so right now it's pretty well balanced. First thing I want to say is it did, like all drum kits that are shipped in reasonably small boxes, it took probably between 1 and 2 hours to unpack and assemble the entire thing in a way that makes sense. But again, this is super solid. So we have a hi-hat, we have a snare, and I'll go through all of these with close-ups and stuff in a second. 3 toms, a ride, and then 2 crashes. This is actually an auxiliary crash that you can actually connect with an 1/8" cable. So there is some customization that you can do, but I think this is kind of just a good idea of what you're gonna get with a drum kit, right? So you can tell it's pretty responsive. I just have this going through a PA. It does come with a stool, sticks, and a headphone, a pair of headphones. So everything you need to get started comes with it in the box. I actually used to work at Guitar Center in the drums department, believe it or not, and it would drive me crazy how they would ship stuff that didn't come with everything. So like if you're getting this as a gift for somebody, you wouldn't be able to play out of the box. This is not like this. Everything you need is in the box, which is fantastic. Every drum kit manufacturer needs to do this, because nothing is worse than like assembling everything, be like, oh, I don't have like an amp or headphones. Like I said, I'm just going through a little mini PA amp right here. But let's just go through a couple of the voices. This is just kit number 1, right? We can go through a few of them. So it's a little darker. There's 3. Oh, there we go. Little Brooklyn vibe there. I'll go through the first 10. All right, there's 4, 5. 6. Love it. So, oh, I skipped one. 7. Let me go back here. There we go. I like those toms, a little retro synth action with those toms. Let's go to 8. All right, 9. Ooh, that's my favorite one. There we go. I love it. And 10. Ooh, great beat. Little tabla. So again, this is cool. What did I say my favorite was? Was it 8 or 7? That one's gated, you could tell. Alright, we're gonna stick on this one. So one of the cool features about this is you can actually record yourself playing very, very easily. This comes in very handy if you're a multi-instrumentalist like myself. So let's say I want to just kind of maybe play something on guitar, but I'm not inspired to play any beats. What you can do is they have a record and playback section right here. You can hit record, and as soon as you trigger something, it'll start playing. play. Like, all right, what do I got here? What am I thinking? And then it goes through that entire loop of whatever you just played. So that's pretty cool. Interesting feature. Oh, I just hit the hi-hat. So let's take a closer look at what you actually have here, and I'll switch to handheld real quick. All right, so here it is from the drummer's side of the kit. This is the brain that everything runs on right here. This is the hi-hat. Really interesting hi-hat construction here. You can see that like it's actually just one top hi-hat, and it's controlled with a foot pedal right here. So the whole stand and everything is set up like a regular hi-hat would be, but they actually have like a sensor underneath the hat that when you hit the pedal, it actually closes and opens up like a real hi-hat would. So I've seen other ones just have two rubber pads kind of on top of each other. And yeah, this is kind of like an interesting take on that. Next we have the snare. So you can see the snare is actually a considerable, it's bigger for sure. So it's like more of the size of like a real snare, and it sounds different on the mesh than it does on the rim. So we have 3 toms here, and again, these are all the same pad, but they all feel pretty good. And they're just, you know, connected to via these the cable that goes into the back of this. So that's why they sound different. You can kind of like set it up in whatever configuration you want. We have the cymbals here, the 2 crashes. If we have cymbals 1, 2, and 3. Right now I have it set up where 1 and 3 are the same cymbal, going to different things. And then the ride is really cool. I prefer to have my ride right here on the right side. I'm actually a lefty drummer. But you can tell that the ride is actually a different piece of hardware. So it's zoned more like a regular, you know, ride cymbal would be. Other than that, we've got the kick down here, which is set up with a regular kick pedal. All this stuff is included. And then the nice thing about this is because it has the bottom bar on the rack that you assemble, you don't have to use the screws in the bottom of the kick thing to like dig into your carpet. You can actually just have the rack be a backstop for the kick. One thing that I've noticed in less expensive electronic kits is as you kind of like work the foot pedal, it'll push the kick away from the drum, whereas with like a regular drum kit, usually like a giant bass drum, you're not going to be able to push that bass drum away. So that's essentially it. And again, it comes with everything you need. This is just the regular kind of standard drum throne, as they call it. And also it comes with these headphones right here. Another really cool thing about maybe if you're training, they have a bunch of songs that are baked into the kit, right? So this is just on the left side of the brain here. You can just press play. So for something like that, it's actually super helpful to play along with because you'll know when you're off. In fact, here's how it would sound if I was off. You can definitely hear the delay on the hi-hat. So it really helps you lock in, and they have a bunch of different songs that you can go through, right? So let's go to the little song button here, and then with the jog wheel, you can scroll up and down through the tracks, right? Woo! It's like some Mega Man action. Love it, some jazz. Some Bad Bunny. That's basically every Bad Bunny beat except Hype Beast in that scenario. 7. Ooh, I like this. It's kind of like alt. so you get it. There's a bunch. I think there's 30 different songs that are built into this. I'm keeping my foot on the hi-hat. Another cool thing about these cymbals are they're dual zoned and they're chokeable. Okay, so you can actually do that. It's pretty funny in the earlier drum kit review demos that I did, because you know I have an analog kit right over here, and again, to make a cymbal stop vibrating, you just grab it. But with the early drum kits, they wouldn't do that, like, because it doesn't notice that you're grabbing it. So these are kind of cool because you can actually, like a real cymbal, choke them, and they're pretty responsive too. Like, it's crazy. So again, that's a cool upgrade that they have. When I say dual zone, that means they sound different on the edge as they do at the center, just like a real cymbal would. Same goes with the snare. I'm gonna go back to one of the more regular kits. So let's go back to kit number 1. And again, this is like a regular snare sound, right? So the mesh head, and the nice thing about the snare is it's bigger. You can do rolls and double strokes pretty easy. And then the rim is like a different sound, right? That's like a cross stick hit, right? So it really picks up double strokes really well and rolls. So really phenomenal practice tool just in and of itself. But yeah, I think it sounds great. Also, using it as a MIDI out is my preferred way to use that. So let's hook this up via USB to my computer, and I'm gonna actually have this trigger pre-recorded drum samples that I have in Logic. All right, so now I've got it hooked up to the USB on my computer. I'm just really triggering a MIDI sample, and we are going to hear it with this little track I've been working on with the Native Instruments kit. Let's get it. Anyways, that's about it for the FED1000. I give it my stamp of approval, especially if you're just starting out. Really cool to just have one of these around. Like I said, it will improve your musicianship no matter what instrument you play, or if you're just starting out on drums, or if you just want something that isn't gonna make like a ton of noise. In fact, let me take the volume all the way down. So now we're not hearing it. This is just a microphone that is recording my voice. This is like me, you know, just a loud bro just talking in a room as compared to how it would sound to practice drums. So, you know, it's still the sound of sticks hitting like rubber or mesh heads, but something that like in a house or an apartment isn't gonna like just destroy everything like a regular kit would. Or if you have like a kid that wants to practice and he's gonna be terrible, he or she is gonna be terrible, this would be a good option. So thank you to Fesley for sponsoring the video. Send one over. If you guys have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, or the website. I'll talk to y'all soon.